I'll go out on my shield if I have to sometimes. You know what I mean? I just don't want it to be left in someone else's hands, especially them, because, I feel like taking this fight was kind of like almost like not super necessary, but I did it because one, it's another fight right away. I'm in shape, weight's low, everything's good. Yeah, man, like I said, I'm not too picky. I just want to go out there and do my job. But what I can guarantee you is I'm going to give it every bit I have in me to go out there and perform for you guys. And I hope you guys understand that, like, this is the sport, but let's go out there and let's freaking go, man.
All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with UFC fighter Steve Garcia. Steve, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no worries. And super glad you're back on once again. And Steve, man, you also got a fight coming up. Talk us a little bit more about that matchup as well.
Yeah, man, we're fighting Kyle Nelson September 7th. Yeah, I think that's the date. Yeah, man, you got a guy that's on a 3-fight win streak. You haven't, myself on a 4-fight win streak. So someone's streak's got to break, and yeah, man, should be exciting for the fans, really.
Yeah, no, I definitely think all the fans are going to be looking forward to this one. Now, with you getting another big knockout, though, I mean, is that knockout streak in your head at all that, like, you need to get another big finish in this matchup?
I mean, very slightly, but it's mainly because I put that pressure on myself every single time I go in there. Like, I hate leaving in the judges' hands just because there's so many like shoddy calls out there that I'm just like, nah, I'm not gonna. If I can avoid it, I'm gonna avoid it. You know what I mean? And on top of that, like, I'll go out on my shield if I have to sometimes. You know what I mean? I just don't want it to be left in someone else's hands, especially them, because I've had some calls on my fights before, and I'm just like, man, dude, if I can avoid that, you know what I mean? If I can, take anything into my own hands, I'm going to. And yeah, man, I feel like I just always put that pressure on myself to go out there and get a finish in.
Right. No, 100%. That makes sense. And what was it like to kind of get that call? I mean, what do you kind of think of the matchup as well, too?
Yeah, man, I'm good with the matchup. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I wish it was like a little bit later because I had to cancel one of my vacations. It was literally that weekend uh, where I was planning to just disappear for 4 or 5 days. But it is what it is, man. It's all good. When opportunity knocks, you just open the door and you walk through it. And yeah, bro, I think I really saw this matchup as it would benefit me. My coaches really agreed to, and just want to make sure I was like good to go, especially after that last fight. I know it's pretty quick, but people don't know what we go through during fight camp and stuff. So, making sure that I was good to go. You know what I mean? And I feel good, and we're going. So, September 7th is ahead of us.
Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be an awesome fight, 100%, man. And an opponent I definitely think would be a fun matchup for you in the future would be like Nate the Train. I mean, what do you think about that matchup in the future? Maybe after Kyle Nelson.
Nylander,
Yes. Yep.
is he ranked or no?
I think he's either right on the cusp if he's not ranked.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I've been calling that guy out for like the last 3 fights. The guy doesn't want to fight, so I don't know. Because I've just like you, I wanted that matchup. They wouldn't give it to me, so I'm trying to just like have a ranking on my name. You know what I mean? At this point, I just got to keep knocking them out, and um, if me and him are fighting for that ranking, then sure. But it kind of sucks the way that it is because I think that obviously to get ranked, you got to fight someone ranked, and if he's not ranked, then um, I feel like taking this fight was kind of like almost like not super necessary, but I did it because one, it's another fight right away. I'm in shape, weight's low, everything's good, feel strong, had a good strong performance. Um, and I don't know, I think Kyle Nelson's 20, I think, or something like that. So that kind of helps a little bit, but I want that top 15. I want that number by my name.
Yeah, no, I definitely think a number would be important, man. And what about Dan Ige? I mean, after you get a win, I mean, are you looking to maybe get him maybe another call out?
Absolutely. I mean, he's the one not accepting these calls, man. They're trying to elevate their game. I'm trying to elevate my game. I don't know if they're ducking or if they're just trying to advance their stuff, but at the end of the day, I have zero control over that. You know what I mean? And at this point, you know, he wants something else. I thought we were going to be able to possibly make this happen. I think he's matched up with Leon Murphy, I think. But yeah, man, it's whatever happens with him, he's still ranked. If he wants to squash it, what I'm not necessarily squash it. We don't have beef, but it's just like if he wants to answer the call out, maybe January or something like that. If anything, because I think his is October. I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
could
yeah.
use, I could definitely use a little break after this fight. So, I'd probably be down to scrap with him in a January type of thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely think January would be a fun date for you if all things work out. And speaking of call outs, I mean, when are you gonna have DC have that golf match again?
I don't know, man. We talked a little bit afterwards. He says next time you come into town, me, you, and Gaethje will get around in, and so maybe just one of these days I gotta, you know, go to Vegas, other than just for fight week or whatever. But the PI is there. We go down there a couple times a year, so I'm sure we can figure it out.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be awesome. And how close are you with DC? Do you happen to talk to him as well too before your fights?
Not a ton, man. Not a ton. Mainly we do like commentary meetings and stuff like that. So we'll kind of go back and forth, and we'll have discussions, within that meeting and stuff. But yeah, not crazy close or anything like that. I just noticed how active he is in golf, and I'm very active in golf, and I'm not like spectacular or anything like that. I love the game. Uh, you know, it's something that like I feel like is my outlet from MMA. I don't have to get punched in the face, and I can still be competitive in a certain way. And I feel like it actually helps me because fighting is very mental, and so is golf. Golf is very mental. You hit a bad shot, you can have consecutive bad shots and stuff like that, but every shot matters. The next one. So I think that like it keeps you focused. It keeps you like still like in that mindset that like it's all right. That one wasn't good. We're gonna hit this next shot, and it's gonna get me back on track. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's some correlation there. Maybe it's just me trying to make up things, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense, man. 100%. And when it comes to the media and stuff, like when you get a big win, I mean, when it comes to the media, like after the fight, like what kind of like interviews do you have to do when it comes to like after the fight, and then like I guess like after the UFC show as well too, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. Just like after the fight, like they have a whole media, especially at the PI. They just have like this whole media obligation that you do, and it's probably about an hour after the fight, and you do the pictures, you do the poses, and then you do pictures, and then you go to multiple different interview places, and this last one we went on to the UFC post fight show with Rashad and all them, and so yeah, man, it's just how it is. And then after that, then you go back to the hotel, you do your thing, come home, and then everybody's hitting you up, and they want to have more interviews. So yeah, man, it's hard to get around to everybody because everybody wants to talk to you, and there's only one of me. But I try to accommodate as much as I can.
Yeah, no, fair enough. That makes sense. And when it comes to the hotels, I mean, what is it like to kind of spend the night in like in like the fighter hotels and whatnot?
Uh, it depends. It depends. It's changed, several times. I've had some really, really bad ones, and I've had some really cool ones. During COVID was probably one of the cooler ones. We had like a whole hotel. I think uh, it was like a almost like a days in type of suite, like a long term stay in. And I had three rooms in a sense. Like I had my room, uh, and it was attached to like another room for like a coach and stuff. And then I had like my own workout room because they're trying to keep everybody like separate. And it had its own basketball court like downstairs. I thought that was like super cool. So that was like fun. And then like let's see, last year they had to stay at like the New York, in Vegas, and that's always cool because when you're on the strip, it's the energy is always kind of fun. Um, and then like for me, I'll walk down the strip just to kind of burn some calories. You almost like burning calories without even thinking about it. It's hot, so um, yeah, that type of thing. And then this last time, I think we're at the Palace Station, so we were there, and I kind of like that place, man. It's cool. It is off the strip. It's like not on the strip, but it's um, there's a lot to do there. So like it has everything that you need, and then even has like a movie theater in there. So like one of the nights, like I went in and just watched a movie. So it's kind of cool. Every experience is different. Um, I went to like one that was like it was like a Holiday Inn, and man, the rooms were like pretty compact, and it was just kind of hard to do things. So it just depends, man. Like it is what it is, and I have a job to do regardless on what room I'm in or where I'm staying at. You know, staying out of even different places like in Austin and all these places. They have awesome stuff. So yeah, man. It just like I said, I'm not too picky. I just want to go out there and do my job.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. But that's definitely some interesting things when it comes to the fighter hotel. And another thing I was curious about, you mentioned when it comes to the fighter bonuses, it takes about like 2 months for them to actually come in. I mean, well, what's kind of the holdup with that? How come it takes about 2 months to maybe get the check?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think they just want to make sure that like your tests like come back, solid. Because we always get tested either by the commission or by it's not USADA, it's like drug free something. It's like a new one. But yeah, we're just constantly tested all the time. So I think they just wanted to make sure that like everything was good, and then that they send it off. So I don't know why it takes that long, but I'm not the one signing the check, so I wait for it. That's it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. That makes sense. I definitely thought that was an interesting thing though I heard you say. But another thing I was curious about too, when you have like the weigh-ins and like the stare down, I mean, what kind of goes through your head when you kind of have the stare down?
That's a well, I mean, there's people that like encounter each other beforehand, but for me, that is like the first form of energy that I can get from you. I normally like don't get me wrong, like it depends on who it is too. You'll get these like nerves and you feel this out, but it's you always get nerves because of the unknown. If you knew what was going on, you probably wouldn't be as nervous. Um, but when we have these phase offs, you know what I mean. I can really look into their eyes, or if they don't want to look in their eyes, I can feel, their body language. I can read it, and they can feel mine. And um, sometimes I'll go in there and right off the gate, I'm like, I got him. And then some days I'm like, oh shoot, this guy's gonna bring it. This is gonna be a rough one right here. And yeah, you just you kind of feel off of you feel off each other's energy, and that's really the first encounter. And then obviously you step in that cage, and then you're like, all right, man, we're here. There's no point of return. Let's go get it.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. And yeah, I'm looking forward to you going getting it, man. And you know what, you mentioned too that you just signed your new 4 fight deal with UFC. I mean, what's it kind of like to kind of get the new contract?
It's nice, man. You almost got a little bit more job security, so that's good. I think as long as you win, you can always continue to financially benefit from those. And it just they're not getting rid of me yet, so I'm hanging around. You know I'm that guy they might not be able to get away too easily.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, you better not, man. I mean, like I said, you're definitely on a big winning streak, and you've
Yeah.
definitely been exciting to watch. And yeah, man, when it comes to the UFC, I mean, with this fight, I mean, obviously being short notice, I mean, with your next fight, I mean, would you maybe, I mean, have like a better location on maybe on where you'd want to fight in the future?
I want a crowd. I want a crowd. Like I fought a couple crowds already, but man, the energy is always different with people that are around you and their energy, man. It just we do this a lot, mainly for them too. We're entertainers, you know what I mean? And some of us, do it in several different ways. My way is to go out there and step in the cage in front of a lot of people and throw hands, man. Let those chingazos fly and freaking just throw down, bro. Like that's how I do it. Um, and it's nice to have a crowd cheering and roaring, and it's something great. And then when you win, it's that much better because you have a roaring arena. It's super cool, man.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems like it's super cool, man. And when it comes to like when you're training, I mean, what's kind of strength and conditioning like to kind of get these knockouts and finishes, man?
I think there's a two-part to that. I feel like everybody's kind of given like these God-given abilities that they have, and it's just very natural to them. But I really do build off of I have a regiment that I hit for my hands and for my legs and stuff, and none of it's ever fun. But I really been reaping the benefits of doing it. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. Um, I know I can crack very hard. And then, my dad's my strength and conditioning coach, so he wants to make sure I can just keep cracking. You know what I mean? After every single exchange. And if we got to go 3 rounds, we go 3 rounds. If we have a 5 round fight, I'm ready for a 5 round fight. So yeah, man, I have a whole thing. One day maybe I'll write a book about it, and I'll give these guys my secrets and see if they benefit from it. I know I have. So yeah, maybe at the end of it, I'll help these guys out and throw them a bone.
There you go. No, that would definitely be nice if you do that. And when it comes to your fights, like when you're getting ready to go out there and compete and stuff, do you have like the fights on the back? Like, are you watching or anything like that?
Yeah, it just depends on where you're at in the card. If you're early, like on in the card, you are kind of keeping an eye. You mainly want to keep an eye on like where you're at. I like to get like ready like three fights before mine. So if I can do that, I can time it, like have an idea of when I'll be fighting. Because some people do they need. I don't think they need it, but they'll be training in the back for an hour and a half. I'm like, you guys are nuts, man. I was like, we don't even train an hour and a half in the gym, consecutively before we go step into a cage. And by that hour and a half, if you're actually grinding, you're pretty freaking tired. You know what I mean? So I definitely try. And then I got Greg Wink. Greg and Wink, like they read me like a book. They're like, nah, he needs to sweat a little bit more. He says, we need to push him a little more, or we need to pull back a little bit. Like they just kind of, and then like they go off of what I feel. Like if I feel like I'm ready, I'm like okay, we're just gonna kind of hang out here. We're gonna hang out here. Sometimes they'll throw a bone in there with an intermission, and they know how to kind of like keep me in that zone. Because I've had it both where like I for the most part I stay in my zone, and then I walk out, and then I feel amazing. And then I've had it. I think I want to say in my Miami fight against Nordenbeck. uh, it was like a fight before mine. I guess someone pulled out, or no, someone got injured, or someone got sick, or something had happened. I'm like, oh well, we're gonna take like a 30-minute intermission, and I was like ready, like I was about to go out, and they just almost just like told me to turn it off, and I'm like, yo, this is not how it works, man. This is not how it works. And luckily, like I said, I had Wink, and we figured it out. I was at a very, very strong um energy, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. Like I just felt really strong. I felt ready to go. And then they told me like, no, not yet. And I had to try to keep that energy for an extra 30 minutes. And um, it was tough for me to do. And so, I think I've said it before, but I started to kind of like just die down a little bit, and it was kind of hard because it's hard to like have this high strung up energy, this killer like instinct that I have in me, um, and I can't let it out yet. And when you can't let it out, like I don't feel like you're able to perform good, especially if it's going away. So, my coach, we're hitting pads, we're in the back, we're doing this and that, and I'm like, my goodness, dude. I was like, I'm losing it, coach. Like, what do I do? And he slapped me, boom. And I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, do that because that pissed me off. You know what I mean? And so I told him, you know what? You probably should do that at the bottom of the cage, like when we go for a walk. And so, like I said, I felt like I was a little deflated. And so when I was walking out there, I just did a quick prayer. I was like, God, just let my walkout song hit. Let it hit. And sure enough, it hit me. And I was like, all right, my energy's back. I walked in, I got to the cage. My coach slapped me out pretty good. And my mind was right. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. The things we do here is kind of crazy. And I only have one shot to do it. I'm not like NBA or baseball. I don't have the next day or another game or another series. I have one night to perform. So I got to make it count.
Yeah, no, you definitely do, and that's definitely a pretty cool story, man. 100%. And when it comes to watching the fights on the TV, I mean, do you ever watch like your teammates go out there and compete, and then does that like ever get in your head if they win or lose or anything like that?
It hasn't, I mean, so locally, yes. Locally, yes. Like, I really haven't had to do that. I think like even when I fought with like me and Michelle fought in Miami, and I fought before she did, and so she was the one watching me. But like locally, I've had one fight, and this was like something that has never happened in like the history of my gym. But every single fight, and I was the main event, and every single fight leading up to that, my fight, all my guys were losing. And I was like, yo, I was like, this is not good. Like, and one, like, I was like, no, you know what, dude? Like, we are coming out with a win. And I was like, I'm going to bring it. And sure enough, and I fought, I think it was an LFA fight where I fought Chepe Mariscal. And yeah, man, we took it. I TKO'd him in the second round. But man, dude, like seeing every one of my guys come in and they're just like not, they're not winning, they're not performing, which is unheard of. Uh, it happened. It's one of those nights, and I was able to pull it through. But my goodness, dude, like seeing them, just like it was bothering me. And then I go to Greg, and I'm like, dude, I was like, what's going on here? He says, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He says, we're here. He says, we can only control what you can control. So let's go out there and let's control that. And I was like, okay, let's do it. You know what I mean? And like I said, you get some of those type of coaches, some of the best in the world. They're in your ear. They're just like your reassurance.
Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome, and I'm definitely glad you got a good coach. And Steve, man, it's been awesome talking to you. Thank you so much for coming back on the show, my man. I mean, what's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Man, it's always just tune in, guys. Like I promise you, like I can't make any guarantees in there. I cannot. But what I can guarantee you is that you're gonna get everything that I can get. I can't tell you I'm gonna get a knockout. I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna finish. I'm not gonna tell you it's not gonna do this or that, whatever the case is. But what I can guarantee you is that I'm gonna give it every bit that I have in me to go out there and perform for you guys. And I hope you guys understand that, like, this is the sport, but let's go out there and let's freaking go, man. I bring it. I've been bringing it. I'm gonna keep bringing it. And you know what, man? I don't think you'd want to miss it. I know it's a fight night. Um, but you know what? I think we're in the co-main again. So let's go out there and let's freaking just let's do our theme. That sounds good to me. Let's go out there and let's fight our heart out and let's get another finish.
Yeah, no, that's right. And yeah, we're looking forward to another finish, my man. And thank you so much for taking the time. It means a lot to me. And best of luck with your upcoming bout.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you once again.
Cool, brother. You have a good one.